So for a lot of my career and for a lot of the videos that I've done and the posts I've done, you've heard me talk about the value of reading and talking about various books to read, that I think can help you as leaders and help you be the best you can be. Today I want to talk about kind of an interesting thought that has occurred to me throughout all of these years of reading, and that's read the highlights. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking about for those of you who don't necessarily like to read very much, or you just don't do it very much, don't take the time to do it very much. I'll often, I don't even often, if often is the right word, but I'll sometimes hear people say, I just don't have time to read, especially when I'm talking about reading books. And so today I'm going to say to you, well, then just read the highlights. And what am I referring to here? So you get a good book. So I've been in the middle reading a bunch of John Maxwell books, the leadership guru, John Maxwell. And I've been recommending him to people for the last year plus. My Great Quotes for Coaches podcast, the last 21 episodes have been quotes by Maxwell. There are just so many good things in there. And when I pick up a John Maxwell book, the way he has written so many of them is he has off on little areas and different pages, kind of in gray, some different quotes or different ideas that you find in that section of the book. If you just went through and read those on in all of the chapters, you would be just inundated with outstanding ideas. And it's just literally sometimes a sentence, a quote from somebody else, 2 sentences, maybe 3. You could go through all of those and pick out and glean so much great information. Other books, and by him and other people, will do that, where in the sidebar they'll have things. But here's what was really hitting me. I, as a college student, found great value in buying my books used, my textbooks. I was an English major. And but it didn't matter what class and, for what subject matter. I found that by buying used books, and a lot of you are going, oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. By buying used books, A, it was cheaper, but B, the prior students had underlined sections or highlighted sections or made notes in the margins, whatever it might have been. I'm not advocating to college students to not read the text. Of course not. What I am saying is for those of you who are no longer in a college course trying to, succeed in the course, for those of you who are just reading to improve yourself in the vein that I talk about, leaders are readers, okay? And in that vein and all of these types of books, if you just read the sections that somebody else has highlighted, you would be pulling out nuggets that they have found. I now, with most of my books, I didn't even think about doing this, but let me see if I have one here that I can't even remember if I think I listened to that one. Here we go. I'm sure we'll find some. Oh, this is a secondary version of Leading with the Heart by Krzyzewski. I gave my other one to somebody else, and it has all of my highlights in it. Where are my good John Maxwell books that I have actually read? See, this one I listened to. That's the thing about this Max. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is what I'm talking about. These gray sections for John Maxwell books, okay? That's one thing I'm talking about. But the other thing I'm talking about is notice where I have highlighted different things, okay? If you just, and I do this with all of my John Maxwell books. I am right now, think I like that section? I am right now just about done with a book called Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. If you just went through all of the highlighted sections in that book, or that book, by the way, if you're wondering, this is The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, outstanding. If you just went through those highlighted sections, by the way, the Leadership Challenge I read this when I was in an organizational leadership program, master's program. Again, my sections that I, highlighted. If you just go through and read the highlighted sections, you would be blown away by the amount of information that you've taken in and the outstanding ideas that you can apply and use in your own life to get that much better. So, sorry that I took that little bit of time and grabbed those, but I thought, oh, wait, I got some books right here that might work. I cannot stress enough to you. Hey, read the whole book. Read that whole book. Outstanding. Any of these books, outstanding. But if you don't have that kind of time or you find that too daunting a task, start with the highlights. Here's the other thing that happens. When you start reading the highlighted section, you're going to keep reading. You just will. And all of a sudden, you'll just keep reading because you'll want to find out a little bit more about the idea in there, okay? You'll want to just carry on with that idea. Sorry if I'm not looking at the screen right now, but I decided, oh, I better grab my iPad because I'm reading a book right now by Dr. Benjamin Hardy called Personality Isn't Permanent, and you can do the same thing in your Kindles, okay? You can do the same thing, and this is what I've done. I highlight sections in there to go back and see and read and use. Outstanding ideas. And so what happens, I'll start to read those sections, and then you'll just keep reading. And pretty soon you're reading to the next highlighted section. So read the highlights. You will get so much just from that. Of course, I want you to read the entire book. But if you are struggling to even get that, the momentum going, to start with the momentum of finding a highlighted section. Read that and see what happens. I think you will find that it will kickstart you to read more. But even if it doesn't kickstart you to read more of that book, at least go through and just start reading those things, and you will be that much better for it. Okay. And if you don't do that, you're going to maintain where you are. So at least do that and see what it does to you to kickstart you into new growth and new development and new improvement. Okay? Talk to you again next time.